Yes, I love my 9 to 5 job, and you might not. But if you want to make your workplace a space which you want to go every morning you wake up, then stay with me. In this video, I'll share what works for me and how you can make your workplace a space that you'd love. Hi friends, welcome to my channel Karma Yoga. I'm Hitesh from India, a Cambridge graduate, sustainability professional living here in the UK. I bring these kind of mindfulness and lifestyle videos to grow together in our lives. So let's dive in. Okay, out of 24 hours, if I'll take away 8 hours of sleeping, we'll end up with 16 hours. And if I further divide that into two, 8 hours for work and 8 hours for life. And if I see it closely, it looks to me a perfect work-life balance. Can't get more perfect than this. Okay, I'll leave it to you to decide. So, there are 3 stages of work. First, before joining the organization that you are planning to work for. Second, it's your initial phase, around an year or so. Some may call it probation. Third, when you are not new anymore in the organization. I'll talk about how to navigate all 3 stages of work, but before I start, let's understand what constitutes a workplace. How do you summarize your job or workspace? Your role or title, your organization, and the location where your organization is situated. And also, you are doing this job for a sum of money or salary apart from other interests. These are visible elements of your work. There are few other aspects of your workspace, and they are your manager, your colleagues, your leadership, team's culture, organization's culture, office policies and facilities. Please let me know in the comments if I missed anything. Now, let's go back to the first stage, which is before joining the organization. Once you decided to work for a company or an organization, you know these 4 things for sure. First, your role and title. Second, your organization. Third, your location. And fourth, your salary. Your effort to make your workspace a better place to work should start from this stage. So first, your role. Look for roles you are truly interested in or aligns with your goals. Read job description thoroughly and reach out to people in the organization or in other institution in similar sector to understand the requirement of the role in a little more detail. Second, your organization. Choose an organization that are frontier in that kind of role, or there is a potential to expand that role within the organization in times to come. Check reviews on public platforms regarding your organization and what their past and present employee talking about it, its team's culture, in organization's culture, and also assess overall reputation. Third, your location. Location is important for 2 reasons. First, how far your organization is from where you live or your home. Second, if you are relocating to the workplace, then what you can do outside work, individually or with family. Fourth is salary. I should have talked about this in the beginning. I know this is very important and deciding factor for most of us. I'll leave it to your discretion to decide whether salary offered for the role is something that you are happy to start with or not. Just take your best judgment and weigh in the learning opportunities that it has to offer. Once you're done with all 4 steps in the first stage, now you can't do much before actually joining the organization. Let's talk about the second stage, your initial phase or your first year or probation in the organization. what you see, whom you work with. Very important, your line manager, your colleague and leadership. And then it's a time to familiarize yourself with team's culture, organization's culture, office policies and facilities. Out of all, if you want me to say what are the most important aspects when starting out, I'll say two things. First, your daily work or job that you are doing as part of your role. And second, your line manager. Here, finding a good manager is similar to finding a good neighbor. You don't have much control who your neighbor would be or choose your neighbor. Similarly, you can't choose your manager or no until you start working with them. It's a pure luck that you end up with a good and supportive manager. But you can increase your luck surface area by ensuring that you do all four steps that I talked about in stage one. In my opinion, which I understood by working for almost 10 years in various sectors, that we thrive when given the independence to do things, to take decisions, and learn from our mistakes, learn from our failures. Independence forces us to think strategically, and it helps us develop leadership qualities. It's very similar to learning swimming or cycling. Unless you do it yourself, you won't be able to learn it. If you find your manager is supportive and gives you independence and space, then it's really good. Utilize this opportunity fully. And if the case is otherwise, then don't worry. What you need to do is to generate enough confidence in your manager that he will say yes to your ideas. Take initiatives, make proposals, and discuss those with your manager, share your idea, and give enough evidence in your work that your manager can believe you and say yes to your ideas. Because we tend to become more confident when we have seen some evidence. And this is what your manager wants to see and say yes. I consider myself lucky to have a very supportive manager and leadership. So the second stage of your work, which is your initial phase in your organization, focus on familiarizing yourself with your work, building a rapport with your manager, and understand the organization overall. Understand the office policies and facilities, policies like flexible working, hybrid working, and use of tech and other tools. Now, come to the third stage when you are not new anymore. Apart from your role and manager, your colleagues, your team's culture, organization's culture makes a huge difference in your work environment. They don't do our work, but they make our life a little easier. Here is the key. How much value you are adding to your colleague's life. It could be work or helping them to grow in their role. Or it could even be an encouraging conversation, a positive chilled out conversation, or just a smile. Approach your interaction with the intention of giving, not what you can get out of it. Be true in your conversations and offer help if you are genuinely wants to offer it, and sincerely follow it through when asked. A little kindness and small help can go very far. Practice it and you'll be surprised and you'll start enjoying it. Often try and see the situation from others' perspective, and you will realize and get most of the answers. Help your team and colleagues in their work, and you will end up creating a supportive group of people and forge strong work relationships. It's what I call a spiritual way of working. embrace it and let me know how you get on with it. Give it a go, do it for a week or a month and share your experience. Once you are in the organization for quite a while, your interactions with your leadership starts shaping your role and environment overall. This is again you have very limited control over. You can only embrace it and adjust with the leadership and give your suggestions time to time. You may see people who desperately wants them to be seen and engage in a conversation to please. My advice, don't do that because it's highly likely they could spot a fake, an energy drainer, or a time killer. Rather, engage less but in meaningful ways. Be confident and share your ideas. Discuss with them. Ask for their input and opinion. Learn from their experiences wherever possible. Ask them to share their best practices. And I'm positive that most of them would love to share their learnings with you. Strike a conversation which isn't about work and give them an opportunity to breathe in midst of all busyness. And if you're a leader yourself, then think about ways how you can add value in lives of people you are working with. Now, if you'd ask me, Hitesh, did you manage to do all of this work that you have shared with us for all three stages? I would say yes to most of it. But am I doing it every day? Am I perfect in doing everything I do and share? The answer is no. I believe it's a journey and it takes time, energy, and patience to keep on doing it, come what may. And this is what matters, that we continue doing it, not for others, but for ourselves. And if you have watched this video until now and you are thinking to get started or waiting for a perfect time, then you will find this video super helpful, where I've talked about how perfection hinders our growth and taking action now is the best way to move forward and getting closer to our dreams. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Until then, keep smiling. Bye.